Dive into a really powerful idea that tries to explain exactly that. It's so easy to just focus on what we can see and touch, right? But what if the most important support systems, the most critical ones, are the ones we can't see at all? So, what are they? What are these fundamental forces that really hold up our entire existence? Well, one really fascinating answer comes from a theological perspective, and it suggests that all this support is part of a two-part system. It's kind of like a divine architecture that's built on two core pillars: maintenance and sustenance. So let's break down what that actually means.
Okay, so what are these two ideas? They're totally connected, but to really get it, let's pull them apart and look at each one on its own first.
This is a great way to think about it. On one side, you've got sustenance. Think of this as the what, all the tangible stuff we get. And on the other side, you've got maintenance. That's the how. It's the fundamental order that even allows things to exist in the first place. All right, so let's kick things off with the one we're all super familiar with, the part we can literally see and touch every single day of our lives: sustenance. Sustenance is, the food on our plates, the water we drink. It's all the raw materials, like wood and metal, that we use to build our homes and our tools. Basically, it's the direct physical stuff that meets our immediate needs and just keeps us going. That's pretty straightforward, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. For you to even have an apple to eat, a whole bunch of invisible systems had to be working perfectly just to make that apple possible. So, what are those systems? And that question leads us straight to the second, and honestly, much bigger idea: maintenance. The best way to think about it is like the silent operating system of the entire universe. It's something we totally take for granted, and it's working on every single scale you can imagine, from the microscopic to the cosmic. So let's start small. Actually, let's start right inside of you. Maintenance is that constant, silent, perfect work happening in the trillions of cells that make up your body. These are processes you never even think about, but you couldn't live for a single second without them. Okay, now let's zoom out a bit to the world all around us. Maintenance is also the incredibly precise chemical balance of our atmosphere, that perfect mix of oxygen and nitrogen that keeps us all alive. From this point of view, that's no accident. It's a system being actively maintained so that life can flourish. And finally, let's zoom all the way out. Maintenance is also the flawless mechanics of our solar system. The gravity that keeps Earth in its perfect orbit, giving us seasons, day and night, it's all part of a cosmic clockwork that makes our world stable and predictable. It just works. So we've got sustenance, the stuff we get, and we've got maintenance, the system that makes getting that stuff even possible. Now let's bring these two powerful ideas back together and see the whole beautiful picture. Here's how they lock together. It's like one is the content and the other is the context. Sustenance gives us what we need to live, but maintenance provides the stable, orderly reality in which we can live in the first place. At the end of the day, you just can't have one without the other. So when you start looking at the world through this lens, it really can cause a huge shift in your perspective. A simple meal, a sunrise, it's no longer just a thing. It's the amazing result of this vast interconnected system of support. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. How does recognizing this unseen system change the way you see your everyday, ordinary life?